This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Soaring gas prices as winter approaches are likely to drive a switch to oil that boosts global crude demand by several 100,000 barrels per day. BPD, squeezing already tight supply, analysts forecast. Natural gas prices, particularly in Europe, have spiked this year buoyed by a combination of low inventories, low supplies and higher Asian demand. The jump in energy costs has led manufacturers to curtail activity from Spain to Britain and helped spark power crises in China.
Asian gasoil prices are expected to outperform those of other refined products in the run-up to year-end, as demand from industry and power generators give it an edge over other transportation fuels that still face mobility restrictions. Steady arbitrage demand from Europe ahead of winter and reduced exports from China have boosted gasoil prices in Asia in recent weeks, propelling spot gasoil to its highest in 3 years. Traders believe the strength may persist for at least another couple of months.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Some of the world's biggest importers of liquefied natural gas, LNG, are reducing orders in the face of a 500% price surge within a year, raising concerns among major producers about potential long-term destruction of demand. LNG buyers, including numerous emerging economies in Asia, are balking at prices that have doubled just within the past month. Natural gas is viewed as a more acceptable fossil fuel as growing economies like India, China and Pakistan try to reduce carbon emissions, because it burns more cleanly than oil and coal. But the surge in natural gas prices is prompting power providers to revert to coal and fuel oil and causing a rethink on new LNG investments in Southeast Asia, which was expected to be the heart of LNG demand growth.
The recovery from fuel shortages at gas stations in England is happening too slowly, the Petrol Retailers Association, PRA, said on Thursday, after a shortage of lorry drivers and panic buying left many pumps dry in London and the southeast. A PRA survey found that 12% of filling stations in London and the southeast were still dry, while 17% had just one grade of fuel. In the same area, 71% of filling stations had both grades, compared to 90% outside London and the southeast. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Chilean copper exports hit $4.157 billion in value in September, up 18.5% from a year earlier, boosted by strong global prices for the metal, the country's central bank said on Thursday. The world's top copper producer posted total exports in the month of $7.429 billion, up 24.4% year-on-year, and a trade surplus of $79 million, the bank added. Copper prices hit record highs in May, driven by expectations of global recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. They have since retreated because of predictions of weaker demand from top buyer China.
Gold fell on Thursday as a drop in U.S. weekly initial jobless claims, ahead of the monthly jobs data later this week, boosted Treasury yields and stoked bets that the U.S. Federal Reserve may soon start winding down its economic support. Spot gold was down 0.3% at $1,757.30 per ounce by 1:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. U.S. gold futures settled 0.2% lower at $1,759.20. The number of Americans filing new claims for jobless benefits dropped by the most in 3 months last week, suggesting the labor market recovery was regaining momentum after a recent slowdown.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
India's cotton exports could fall by 36% in 2021-22 from a year ago, as domestic demand has been rising amid limited supplies after carry-forward stocks nearly halved from a year ago, industry officials said on Thursday. Lower exports from the world's biggest cotton producer could support global prices, which jumped to their highest levels in a decade on strong demand from top consumer China. Exports could go down to 5 million bales in the new season since local demand has been rising, Sumit Mittal, general manager for India cotton business at Louis Dreyfus Company, said in a webinar organized by the Cotton Association of India. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.